Conservative Kyle. That's the conversation of today. We're going to talk about the defense as well, but conservative Kyle. A lot of people felt like he was going with the quote unquote Jimmy G game plan, is what I saw all over social media. What are your thoughts of this? I mean, it did seem a little bit quote unquote conservative at times, but I personally didn't have that much of a problem with it, David. The way that I saw it was, I think the plays were still there, but Purdy just managed the game the way that he should. And before you get your panties in a bunch, when I say manage the game, I'm not calling him a game manager. What I'm saying is he managed this game properly, in the sense that if the play wasn't there, and he talked about this in the lead up to this game, last week I kind of got out of things and maybe took some chances I didn't need to. But today he didn't take those chances. And when he did take chances, they were calculated chances that paid off. I didn't have a problem with the game plan personally. And I think a lot of that is how Purdy decided to approach this game. And I liked it. I liked what I saw from Brock Purdy and the offense overall. What did you think, though?
Oh, yeah. I thought Brock aside, there were a couple balls today that ball placement was a little off, but overall, I thought decision making was good. I know he kind of quibbled in our text thread about the throw to Juice with an open Ayuk, which I totally get. I also was very encouraged to see him push the ball down the field when he needed to with confidence, and I thought he had great placement on those balls. So, seeing what we saw from Purdy today was very encouraging. I think just seeing that celebration at the end, you could just see that last game got to him, and then even this game, it was just kind of like offense was playing well, but didn't capitalize the red zone a couple times. Some questionable play calls in certain situations inside the 10-yard line. And to see him kind of go find Ayuk on that last touchdown and just see him get into like veins popping out of his arms and going crazy, like that's the kind of energy you want to see from Purdy again. I'm glad that's back before next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that the quote unquote conservative play was Kyle Shanahan intentional, or do you just feel like, hey, that was the flow of the game and that's the way that Purdy managed it? And, obviously there were some big plays later in the game. Those were dialed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In stream a game when you're watching, you can get, I'm not immune to being, I say emotional, but like, you're calling kind of how you see it. I think that there were times where Kyle was pretty objective about looking at who his opponent was and didn't want to get too crazy. I also think that Kyle, and I'm trying to talk right now because I'm watching the Arizona Cardinals almost get a touchdown. I think there were situations where he wanted to get out with a win. I'm one of those guys, when I go on Twitter and I see people say, let's get more balance. But yeah, I've been complaining about passing too much. Baltimore Ravens first drive, what do? Pass the ball all the way down the field, and then people got mad because they didn't run the ball because they threw a pick. Well, you can't do that. It's process over results. So I feel very comfortable when Kyle Shanahan is a little bit more trusting, saying we're going empty backfield, we're going to pass the ball. I think a little bit of this today was Kyle wanting to play it safe more than it was trust. But I also think Kyle's been a guy that when somebody's had some hiccups in their game, he wants you to prove it to him again a little bit. And I'm not saying that's bad, good in between, but that's kind of who Kyle was. Was that the factor today? I'm not sure, but it was nice to see them open it up a little bit more near the end.
Yeah, and I guess my point is let's say it was a quote unquote conservative game plan. Is that so bad that it started out that way just to get them in a rhythm? It's like you have a player in basketball, a 3-point shooter that's missing the last couple of games. They're just not dialed in. So instead of getting them 3-point shots to start things out, you just kind of make it easy on them. You get them a backdoor layup. You just get them chances to see the ball go in the hoop, and then you start to let them fire. And that's the way that it was. So whether it was Kyle, whether it was Purdy, I don't have a problem with it. And did the touchdown? Cardinals touchdown?
Yep. James Conner.
Go.
It's in.
Let's go.
They kicked the extra point here. This game is pretty much over. Okay, sorry. This is kind of why we do these shows, right? Like when it's live like this, this is huge. Because I'll say this: Christian McCaffrey, not a severe injury from what it seems, but if he can get a week to not even feel pressure to go against a very good Rams team and just let him recover, this is a huge game. I know the rust concerns. Oh, they're going to look at him being down. But I don't think they're going to be able to overturn this based on where that ball is
Oh,
spotted.
let's go. Let's go. Yes, let's go.